Hello and welcome to the studio tour of the LexX studio. I would like to show you some of my used devices and the routing and how everything is set up. This is the Moog Sub 37. I really love it and it's duophonic. You can play two tones at one time or monophonic if you want. Beside the Sub 37 we have the Moog Sub 30. It's a monophonic synthesizer which I mainly use for sub-bass line creation. On top of the line on the left we have the Dave & Smith Instruments Mofo keyboard. In the top middle we have the Roland TB3. It's a bass synthesizer which I mainly use for bass lines, arpeggiators and effects. Beside the Roland TB3 we have the Roland System 1. It's a polyphonic synthesizer with a really high going LFO rate. The Klavier Note Lead 4 is a polyphonic synthesizer with the option to stack 4 different soundbacks on top of each other. Here comes the first drum machine. This is the Roland TR8 Rhythm Performer. It's a digital remake of the old-fashioned drum machine Roland TR808 with additional sounds of the 707 or the 606. The second drum machine, which I will use in the lead, is the Electron Analog Rhythm. It's a really cool drum machine with the option to put samples on it or to use the internal synthesis software. The Electron Octatrack is one of my centerpieces of this setup. It runs samples on it or is used for MIDI sequencing all the synthesizers I use. To make the trinity complete, I use an Electron Analog 4. Analog 4 stands for 4 different monophonic synthesizers which I can play polyphonic if other voices aren't in use. On the table we have an Akai IPC40 MK2 which is controlling Ableton Live on the MacBook Pro. Everything you just seen ends up in the Allen&Heath Q32 Chrome Edition. A really cool mixer with motor faders and touch display where I do the main mastering. On top of the right 19-inch rack we have a Korg Casellator Pro, which is mainly used for swooshes and some effects. Beside of that we have the ERM multiclock, which controls the syncing of Ableton Live and the rest of my hardware setup. Inside the 19-inch rack we have a MIDI Solutions through 8, which is getting the MIDI signal from the Octatrack and splitting it to all the synthesizers I use. On top of the left 19-inch rack I have a Xone 92 DJ mixer which handles the output to my speakers and to the recording device. The left 19-inch rack is mainly used for sidechain compression. I use the signal from the Electron Analog Rhythm, a separate output, to get the kick signal into a Behringer audio splitter. The splitter creates from this signal 8 different signals, which I send into the DBX166 XS compressors. Below the compressors I have a Focusrite Octopre MK2. It's an addition to the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 I use to get my signals out of Ableton Live and into Ableton Live. All the outputs run straight into a Windows PC, which is running DMX's software, a software which controls Lightning over USB. The USB signal is converted to a DMX signal, which allows me to control 512 DMX channels for live lighting. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the LexX setup, and feel free to ask any questions if you want. Subscribe and have a nice time.